folks, Griffin here with another Jund League video. I'm looking to get some practice in. I've got SCG Regionals coming up. I'll be in Acton, Massachusetts, June 2nd. And so really trying to pin down my list here. Um, Made a little bit of changes. Nothing too major, but some changes from the last episode. We're going to try out Courser of Crewfix. This is a card that I've had some success with in this list or in this deck. It kind of fills the same role as Tireless Tracker, except that it's less aggressive. It's a more defensive card, that's for sure. Um, it still gives you some card advantage, but instead of growing bigger and being able to attack, it blocks really well and it gains you life. And so I really like that about it. I think that's where you want to be in the format at the moment, but I could be wrong. To facilitate Courser, we've messed around with the mana a little bit. I think I just added an extra fetch land. Fetch lands are really good with Courser when you know the top card of your library. And lots of times I won't play Courser in this list, in this deck, if I have it set up so that I don't ever need double green. But with Scavenging Ooze in the deck anyway, you kind of want to have double green or multiple green sources of mana in play at the same time to fetch for. So Courser isn't really that big of a cost because we're already kind of down that road. When I play this deck and I have Blood Moon in the sideboard, when sometimes I'll do that. I'll have if the metagame kind of calls for that, then I won't play something that's got double green in its cost, or at least I'll take it out. And one thing to be certain of is that you should take out Courser of Crewfix after sideboard if you expect Blood Moon, because you can't cast it. Liliana the Veil also is like recommended that you do that, but sometimes it's just like still the best card in the matchup, so you just play it anyway and just hope you can get 2 swamps. Yeah, so that's about it. We're gonna head right into a league. See you in a little bit. Okay, round 1. This looks like a mulligan. Yeah, it looks okay. Don't love Double Bitter Blossom, and we are lacking discard, but I think it's fine. I don't think I want a 4-drop with this hand. Colonnade's rough, but we do have our best card in the matchup here already, so... So this looks a lot like a mana leak. It's being left up here. I'm going to go ahead and get an Overgrown Tomb. Well, I guess we know our plan here. Hopefully one of these sticks. What's good is that they make Tarmogoyf huge. Lots of times Bitter Blossom doesn't get into the graveyard, but if this gets countered, it will get into the graveyard. It makes our Tarmogoyf a much bigger threat. I'm guessing this is going to be a matchup where I really wish I had Dreadbore instead of Terminate. I used to play 2 Dreadbores and no Terminates. Yeah, we're just going for it here because we have another one to cast next turn if we don't hit, but we got that one into play. Jace the Mind Sculptor, of course, would be really good. go ahead and Inquisition. Yeah, I started playing Dreadbores a while ago, and then Jace the Mind Sculptor got unbanned and wanted it even more. And that's a very interesting play. Oh, Teferi. Teferi, Teferi, Teferi. Well, take the path. Play a Goyf. Two Teferis and a Steam Vents. Yeah, definitely would rather have our old friend Dreadbore right now, but we might be able to do some work with this Terminate, or maybe even the Fatal Push. So here comes that Teferi, one of them. Gonna go ahead and draw a card. So, hopefully, they don't have a path for our Tarmogoyf. If they don't, then we can nuke this Teferi, even through a removal spell of some sort. Ah, upkeep. Okay. Sure would. Yep, swamp seems good. Other land's not the best. I think we will terminate the Snapcaster. I guess that doesn't make a lot of sense. It does draw out a potential spell snare, but I don't think they would actually use a spell snare anyway. Don't usually play out a second Bitter Blossom, but I really need to pressure these Planeswalkers that have a lot of loyalty. We are bolting where? Face. Seems like a good time to push this guy. Seems to be the plan, is to try and get in damage that way. And this is the other reason that you don't like two Bitter Blossoms in play, is because they do have bolts in their deck. Colonnade, sure. I'm just going to go ahead and block. Not too overly concerned. I mean, we're getting 2 tokens a turn. Next time that they try and do that, I can terminate. Not a great draw, considering everything we've got in play right now. Alternatively, I could be going after face here. But I don't really think that's a real winning combination for us. Yeah, I think we're going to get burned out. Gonna need an Ooze or a Kolaghan's Command or something here. Mountain's not good. Courser wouldn't be bad. Interesting that we're fetching right away. I think that probably means the Serum Visions. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we really have a way out of here. And the thing is that I have to... Like, attacking face doesn't do anything right now. It's possible that I should have been doing that from the start, but with that Lightning Helix, I don't think it would have been that beneficial. That's gonna be game. I guess I could draw a Scavenging Ooze, but the problem is this is only one creature in graveyard. Could draw a Huntmaster. Nope. Okay. Now this matchup is A, it's one that I would rather have Tireless Tracker for, but B, because we have Obstinate Baloth instead of Kitchen Finks or additional Huntmasters in the sideboard, then it starts to look a lot worse. The Spell Bombs, like, Kitchen Finks would be great in this matchup, but Obstinate Baloth is really bad. Duress, Lightning, Nile Spellbomb, those all look great. The Bolts can come out. The Lavamancer is pretty bad. And the Fatal Pushes are pretty bad as well, but I guess they're probably better than Terminate. Don't really think that there's a good reason to play Murderous Cut over Fatal Push. Only thing I can think of would be Gideon Jura, because I think it doesn't get indestructible as a 6/6, and Vendilion Click maybe. Don't really think it's worth it. I think the 1 mana spell is better. We're gonna use our resources or our graveyard as a resource a little bit in this matchup. Pretty good. I would love another land, of course, but it's certainly a keep. We've got our best card in the matchup. We've got some life gain. We've got some discard. We've got a lot of discard. Because we drew that Thoughtseize, I'm actually just going to get a Mountain. You really got to watch your life total against this deck. And this Thoughtseize is, like, pretty harsh for us. There's a search for Escanta. Don't think I want the other Bitter Blossom. And I don't think I need to use Thoughtseize right now. Gonna need a land. Serum Visions, sure. So here's the thing, if they have a Snapcaster Mage, I'm pretty fine with them trading Snapcaster for no value with our Ooze. So I am going to go ahead and attack. Kind of wish I had gotten a Black Source now because our land we drew was Raging Ravine, but I think, like I said earlier, our life total really does matter a lot in this matchup. Now I think I'll fire off this Thoughtseize. Snapcaster, Snapcaster, Path. Well, I think I'm just taking a Snapcaster Mage. That'll put them 3 cards in the graveyard. Path will be 4. Fetch land could be 5. So they can put one in with search. So it's not. It's going to be a little bit before they can go ahead and flip that search for Escanta. And we get this for next turn. Oh boy. Don't want a path on their own turn. Interesting. Or on my turn. Seems like Ooze would have been a good path target there. Nope, we're going to Helix the Ooze. Sure. So now that means Search for Escanta is almost certainly flipping. Courser's a nice one, but we know they have Path. We know they have Path and Snapcaster. And Plains. And they have one. No, they have 2 cards we don't know about. Or 1 card we don't know about. Oh, they have a Hollowed Fountain. Okay. So let's attack. And we'll see what they do. Probably won't do anything. Blightning would let them flip their search for Escanta. So I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play a Courser, and we'll see if we can hit a land off of it. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, cool. So now even if they path, we got some card advantage there. They can actually flip their search if they want to here. But what's good about that is that it gets us an extra land, so we can start to deploy lots of stuff at once here. Interesting, they had Hollowed Fountain in their hand, so they probably couldn't go get another one. They got Sacred Foundry instead. Gonna go ahead and do Swamp. So now they have flipped their Escanta. We know about Plains, Snapcaster, Hallowed Fountain. Not the best. They have a colonnade up, but I think that's actually okay. Because if they choose to block, they're not using Escanta. And they're also, we can Liliana and make them sacrifice it. So now let's play, I think we're going to go with Liliana here. Kind of just setting them up. I want them to use all their mana with Colonnade next turn. I think what they might do here is Snapcaster Path my fairy token, my untapped one. So there goes that Hollowed Fountain. So we know both their cards. Nope, just gonna search. EE. Okay. Pretty good. Not sure what they want to do. 0, 2, or 3 are all perfectly viable choices with the EE. 0. Okay. So here comes the Snapcaster. They're probably going to target that Helix. Okay, so that means I can use this Liliana on them. Don't really have any interest in playing this other Liliana to tick up because they're just going to attack it with Colonnade. There goes the EE. So now if they want to get my Liliana off the table, they have to use Colonnade, and that makes it so they can't use Escanta. That's interesting. Oh, that's right. They still have that Helix that they can use. Sure. So let's see if Colonnade comes after us, or if they keep on the search for Escanta. Colonnade comes after us, or if they keep on the search for Escanta plan. The thing is that we still have tokens coming later. That wasn't a bad draw. Especially with search for Escanta, that's real good. Wow, okay. Really good draw. They get to untap 2 lands. That means they don't get to use search this turn. So, We can Ravine. I like that. Puts them to 4, but they have a lot of stuff going on next turn. Blinding doesn't really do much. Blinding's going to be a lot better next turn. And the Colonnade just attacks Liliana real easy. So this is what we're doing. And I don't think it's worth it to go after Teferi with our opponent on 8. So now that they've got all these cards in their hand, Lightning starts to look a lot better. A path, sure. They get to untap 2 lands. Pretty good draw. This could be a Cryptic. Counter and draw, sure. I don't really have anything good in the graveyard. I can go get my Scavenging Ooze again. So it's possible that dealing 2 is better here. It's also possible that I should have drawn that out with a Liliana. But I think that they can pretty safely just leave, like let the Liliana resolve. So I think we're saying go here. Tough matchup. Teferi just has a lot of loyalty. It's just a Helix to the face. Okay. Makes sense because they have to use some lands anyway. That's a pretty weird play. I think that now is a pretty good. So they are pretty well out of range of like Kolaghan's command dealing damage to them. So we're gonna make them discard and get back Scavenging Ooze. Teferi makes this deck really good. This has been quite a showing for Teferi. This might be another Cryptic. Or is it a search for his Conta activation? Snapcaster. Okay. On a helix. Sure. Some really weird plays. Especially because like now they don't have enough to search for Escanta. We know that their last card is Path, but we can nuke that with Lily. Play an Ooze. Am I going to be punished for not cracking here? I'm not sure if I am or not. So let's see what they do with Teferi as well. Using Search for Escanta immediately. Interesting. Cryptic. Sure. Drawing a card with Teferi. Between Teferi and Search for Escanta, they get a lot of cards every turn. That's pretty crazy. So they're keeping Cryptic Mana up. And mana for anything else, I guess, because of Teferi. Man, Teferi's good. Let's eat a Snapcaster, I guess. There's no really good way for us to play around bolts anyway, so... We're going to make each player discard a card. We know they have Cryptic Command, so I don't want to get something bounced, specifically Liliana bounced. Comes a search activation. Don't think we're getting this one. Do not think we're going to win this game. They get an emblem. This is rough, but this is some practice that's pretty necessary here. I need to know how to play against this deck because sometimes, you know, there are always people that just play Jeskai. They're like, oh, this is the Jeskai person or whatever. Like, this is the deck they always play. This deck seems streamlined and very good. And like a pretty yeah, streamlined list, I guess is the way to put it. So our opponent's going to. I mean, they can like Cryptic bounce the Raging Ravine, exile the Ooze when they draw a card. I think we can pretty much wrap this up. We can't really do anything with them at 9. Between the Engineered Explosives and the Celestial Purge that they drew pretty much in succession, that was pretty solid. So I think we're good here. I think I'm all set to concede. They get to exile a permanent every turn, which is a lot. Alright, well, we lost that one. Let's get it back in round 2. Back for round 2, on the draw this time. This is a keep. It's obviously not the best hand, but Inquisition and Bitter Blossom, pretty good. Blackleaf Cliffs. Thoughtseize. So this could be the Mirror. It could also be Mardu Pyromancer. So it's the Mirror or Mardu Pyromancer. This hand just got a lot worse. Let's see what happens here. That's not very good. It is the Mirror. Well, taking a Bob and hoping we draw a removal spell, I guess, is our best plan of action. I could have taken the Bolt and then potentially been able to kill them both with Lavamancer, but it just is so rare that that happens. We're going to fetch a Mountain, and Bitter Blossom was a good draw. Get you Blackleaf Cliffs. They got a Raging Ravine. Here comes that Confidant. I guess they just play Raging Ravines, they go, or else maybe they have a Tarmogoyf or something. Liliana. Overgrown Tomb, so I must be doing it untapped, and so this must be a Scavenging Ooze, okay. I think if we were on the play, we would have had a good shot at this game. I think it was actually pretty bad to play the Verdant Catacombs. They know our hand now, but it's not going to matter, I don't believe. Alright, well if there was a card that we needed so we could get back into this, that was it. Kind of makes them into an awkward situation here. If they play the Bloodbraid, they might not hit a removal spell. They hit a Dark Confidant. That's all 4. So they can pump with this. Interesting. Let's do this and this. So yeah, so they can grow their ooze. Yep. Okay. That was a good one. So I'm gonna wait and flip this. They get an extra card out of it, but I don't think that I have a lot of options. They got a land out of the deal. So let's see what they do here. They have another Dark Confidant in hand, I'm pretty sure. Another Bloodbraid. Sure. Well, what's cool about that is that we get to flip. What's not cool is that we don't get to flip because it's dead. Which is too bad. Keeping this Bloodstained Mire around for Courser or for Fatal Push. This is another Bob, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready to pack it in here. There's no... Because I'm dead on board. There's no 8 drops in their deck. Okay. Okay, so income, the Blightnings, the Baloths, the Cut, and a single Nile Spellbomb. And that is what I've been doing recently. And out come all of the discard spells. Lavamancer's not at its best here, but at least if they have Dark Confidant and Scavenging Ooze in their deck, then it can do a little bit of work. It's also not the worst against Liliana of the Veil. Playing first. Sounds alright. Definitely need a land. I could wait on cracking this, but I'm pretty sure that I just want a Stomping Ground. So that's gonna be good if we draw a swamp here. A black source. Gonna guess that this is a Dark Confidant. Just Gavin Ooze of his own. So our options are Liliana, but we're facing that treetop village. Kolaghan's Command, which gets real bad in the face of an Obstinate Baloth, but most people don't play it. We could just Blightning, but I mean that runs into the same problem, and we've got this, which is trouble. So I think we're going to Kolaghan's Command. And we are going to get an Overgrown Tomb. So let's do you discard. So let's hope there's no Baloths. Most people don't play them anymore. I do, but I'm kind of crazy. Ombre Pasto. Well, Ombre Pasto You wouldn't be thinking this long if you had Baloth. So now we gotta watch out. Like, this opens us up pretty hard for an opposing Liliana. But that's why we have the Blightning, because we really, really crush them if they do that. Looks like that's what's happening here. No. Sacrifice you. Okay. That's how we set it up. Bitter Blossom's not bad. Whoops. No. Old school, you used to Blightning them. Now you Blightning the Planeswalker. Finks and a Goyf. That Blightning took out a Finks, a Goyf, and a Liliana. Call that a win. So here comes a Bloodbraid into Bob, which is very good. Okay. So let's see what we draw. Goyf. Goyf's not bad. I think that's what we'll play as a Goyf. And then cut the Dark Confidant. Don't think we really have time to get a Bitter Blossom going at the moment. Looks really bad in the face of a Terminator Fatal Push or something, but I think it's our best option here. We're going to get rid of everything but the Ooze, I guess? Our opponent's got all the card types anyway, so we're not missing out on anything. I guess actually that's not true, because there were no instants over there. That goofy Goyf, sure. Can't really attack into me. I think it's a good time to get Courser established. It blocks the Bloodbraid in the treetop very well. We get to decide whether or not we want this Bolt. Not certain at the moment. A Lily. Okay. Making us discard. That's interesting. I think I'm good with discarding Bitter Blossom. Our Liliana is going to just eat a Bloodbraid. So here's a Forest. That's pretty solid. K command on top. I like that. So we'll go ahead and make them sacrifice. I guess I actually should have bolted the Bloodbraid first. Yeah, I think that would have been better. So we're losing our Courser. We know that. So hopefully their last card is not another Liliana. That would be pretty bad for us. However, they have this Liliana on 2, and we know we have Kolaghan's Command coming up. This would be some interesting attacks here. Both at Lily. So I could just block the Bloodbraid. This looks a lot like a lightning bolt, right? Block the Bloodbraid. Liliana eats it. And now I've got a bolt for that Liliana over there. I think I'd rather do the normal plan here, because it lets me keep my Liliana around. So if their last card is Bolt, they bolt the Goyf, I untap, I get Kolaghan's Command, I kill Liliana, I get back my Goyf, play Goyf +1. Leaves me in slightly better position? No. Trying to get me to do something sketchy, I see. Well, if that's the case, then I think I'm going to go get us... they might have Ghost Quarter. So I'll go get an Overgrown Tomb. And we're going to K-Command, deal 2, and return a creature. We're going to return this Ooze, and we're going to kill Liliana. And then we're going to play the Ooze. I'm going to tick up. I think I will go ahead and attack here. They have to draw something pretty good for this to be bad for us. I want to pressure them here. If they don't have a removal spell for the Ooze, like, they need to draw a removal spell for the Ooze. Otherwise, the Ooze gets out of hand and gets even bigger than the Goyf. They can use the Tarmogoyf to attack Liliana. But I think that's fine, because now they're at this. They're facing down lethal like 2 ways here. Let's see what their last card is. Okay. Fair enough. All that stuff was pretty good. Don't think there's anything else I want from the board. I'm a little worried about just in general, the main deck of this deck, the removal suite. 3 bolts. Grim Lavamancer I kind of count as a removal spell, but it's not really. 2 Fatal Push, 1 Dreadbore, 2 Terminates. This looks great. We don't really get to maximize our Scavenging Ooze with this hand, but I think it's still pretty good. I'm going to play the Bloodstained Mire just because I want to go get a green source. Might as well do that while I don't have to take any damage for it. So we don't let Dark Confidant live. It's just not a thing that we do here. Not a thing we do at old Griffin Jund Stadium. Whether to use Terminate or Dreadbore is pretty close, but I think it's Terminate. I think Dreadbore has some more applications. So that's a great sign for us. I think it's Bitter Blossom time. They don't have a land for Maelstrom Pulse if they have that, and not a lot of people play Abrupt Decay anymore. And they would have had it there. Or they would have cast it there, at least, if they had had it. If they play Liliana and tick up, it's just over. I would love it if they did that. Oh boy. More likely as a Kitchen Finks. No. Last Hope? Tap your mana wrong? Pulse. Okay, okay. I think this is going to be Stomping Ground, play 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze. They aren't great together, of course, but I'm totally expecting one of them to die. And I don't think Damnation is really something I need to be concerned about either. Also, there's not enough creatures, and I don't have enough green mana to get any of them out of bolt range right now. So I'm not especially concerned about that either. Sometimes people bring in Damnation here, and I just think it's really bad, even if you have it. Lots of times you're just way behind, even though you don't have... Okay. Then what? Also, they use their Maelstrom Pulse. That made it me a lot easier for me to use the Ooze here. So there's a Lily. I could Dreadbore it, but I don't think I will, because I'm going to Baloth it. That was about the best card in the deck to draw. So we're going to go ahead and cast it. And now we get a free Obstinate Baloth. Damnation, just like, lots of times you're just behind because of Planeswalkers, and the way that you come back as creatures. It's funny that it's Damnation, and it's like a defensive card, but it's very win more. Like, you need to have a presence on board that's worth killing off creatures for. Like that. That was such a bad play. Wow, did you just totally lose this match because of that play? Oh, man. I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't want my Liliana to get attacked by a Bloodbraid. They discarded Fulminator Mage, okay. And now we have a Bolt. Yeah, this worked out pretty well. Now we have a Bolt to eat this, to shoot this Bloodbraid. And we have a Dreadbore and a Liliana. So, a land would be fine. Kolaghan's Command is also pretty good. Let's make our opponent sacrifice a creature. I think it's very unlikely that we are getting to use this Liliana again. And my hand is really good. So even if they have another Bloodbraid, I'm not too concerned about it. It's going to be a Fatal Push? No. Okay. Let's attack. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with just ticking up Liliana here and discarding this Bloodstained Mire. There is a chance... Well, Kolaghan's Commands plus Ooze looks pretty good. But I can just Kolaghan's Command on end step too. We are getting bottlenecked on mana a little bit here. But I'm not overly concerned, especially because they don't have a like a Raging Ravine. Well, they used to. So this might be a Kolaghan's Command, and if it is, then we get to make them discard. Like they would probably rebuy Bloodbraid Elf, yeah. And deal 2 to Liliana, sure. So that means we get to make them discard that Bloodbraid Elf and rebuy... Don't know. Huntmaster or Scavengers. I think it's Ooze, just because we don't know. We might need to cast both Dreadbore and the Ooze next turn. That's probably really bad, actually. A little scary because we know that they have Fulminator Mage in their deck. So we successfully played around Kolaghan's Command with our own Kolaghan's Command, and now we have a Huntmaster to go next turn. Here's a Tarmogoyf. So the thing is, I'm pretty happy with just playing this Huntmaster right now. Like, we could Dreadbore and get in, but that's like also pretty easy to do next turn. And if they miss, if they just draw a land this turn, then we're like in super good shape. Our life total is high enough that I just like do not care about getting attacked for 7 here. Yeah, okay. So that should be game. You know what really did it was that Liliana play by our opponent. Really, the Liliana then Damnation then use Liliana. That was really bad. Not only because it just doesn't play around Obstinate Baloth, but like you want your opponent to not know what you're going to play before they make their discard choice. Like, it's like, oh, I don't need this creature because I already got 2 creatures in play, and then you go Damnation, and like, oh, well, crap, that was worse. If you're gonna play Damnation in the deck, you got to be able to try and get as many cards out of it as you can. Um, yeah, I think that totally cost them the whole match, which is I don't know. It's definitely something that's when you're playing, you want all these cards to be on your radar, and also you get an advantage from playing a list that's different than the normal list, right? We had Obstinate Baloth in our hands, and they used their Liliana, but like nobody else right now is playing, or not very many people are playing Obstinate Baloth, and if they are, not very often. So sometimes it's just like, I didn't play around this card because just like nobody's played it very much. I mean, it was Obstinate Baloth, but we could have had a number of different cards there as well. We could have had other cards that you gotta think of that even if it's not likely to be the cards that they have in their hand, it could be. And that was an instance where it was really easy um, to play around that card, but they just didn't do it because they didn't even think of it. Magic's a really hard game, and you make it a lot more confusing for them when you play stuff that they don't really think about. Alright, so that was good. Let's keep this going, I guess. Okay, we're back for round 3. I just had to go and hump some food real quick. I think this is a keep. It's a little slow. It's actually really bad against Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, but I think it's a keep. I think it'd be pretty aggressive to mulligan this. Temple Garden into Hierarch. Well, now we get to find out what's going on. So that wasn't a bad draw. Cord, Duskwatch Recruiter, Renegade Rallier. So Renegade Rallier, all it's kind of going to do is get them a land, so I'm not really that concerned about that. Duskwatch Recruiter is a little disconcerting. That thing gets going, and it's bad. And Cord is actually just like always really good to take away. I don't think that we're gonna get into a situation where we can like actually do anything like make them discard that Cord with Liliana. You know, sometimes that's the plan, is you try and keep the really expensive cards in their hand so that you can get them later with Lily. Don't think that's going to be happening, so we might want to take the Cord. But then again, if we take the Rallier and we terminate the Recruiter, they can't really Cord for very much. And it lets us develop a little better. So how about we take the Rallier? Because that's going to give them the most mana to use their Cord with, and then we terminate the Recruiter. Alternatively, terminate the Hierarch. We'll see what they do here. Horizon Canopy, so yeah, that doesn't seem like a very good idea anymore. Gonna be taking some damage from our lands this game, but we should be alright, because we're gaining it back with Huntmaster. Gonna go ahead and terminate right now. So they still have that Heath in their hand. That was a really interesting play to play the Horizon Canopy there. Wow. Okay. Vizier. Well, that's bad. We only know of... Ugh. So they can Cord for Devoted Druid next turn if we make them discard and they draw a land, because they can discard something that's not Cord. If we Liliana, make them sacrifice, they sacrifice the Hierarch. It's not especially good either, because then they attack here. They attack Liliana with it. I think that's probably the play, though. Make them sacrifice that Hierarch. Interesting. Maybe we should have actually terminated the... No, that wouldn't have worked out. They would have just played another land and used the Recruiter. So let's go ahead and do this. I don't love it. I think it's what we're doing, though. Because they discard their last card. They're going to have trouble finding Devoted Druid now with just 2 lands. Wow. Extremely aggressive. Okay. Bloodstained Mire, let's get a swamp, play a Huntmaster. It's really interesting that they don't want to keep their lands in play to be able to Cord for the Druid. Maybe their plan is just going to be to... Yeah, so here's the Druid. So luckily... they can't use it right away. Geez, another land is not the best. Yeah, let's attack with both and pass the turn. And hope that the last card in their hand doesn't kill us. Zernak on MTG Goldfish. I do not see the anything other than affinity here. So I'm trying to get a read on which one I should hit. I think I'm going to hit the devoted. No, I think I'm going to hit the Vizier. If they have Cord in their hand, we're in a lot of trouble. But I think we hit the Vizier here. Commune with Nature. I know this deck now. Okay. This is like a real, like, legit combo deck. Interesting. Okay. Bolts are good. Commune with Nature can go get a creature card put into your hand. So this must not have company. Wow. Okay. That was interesting. Alright, so income, Pyroclasm. Engineered Explosives, Murderous Gut seems fine. Jund Charm seems pretty good. I don't love getting rid of the discard spells, but I think we might get rid of the, like, a couple of Inquisitions. Of course, we get to run the combo of, like, Huntmaster plus Jund Charm and Pyroclasm, but this always comes down after. This always comes down after you use your Pyroclasm or your Jund Charm. So I gotta cut 2 more cards. Maybe like 1 Bitter Blossom. Actually, Liliana's not the best either. Let's keep the Bitter Blossom. You know what? Let's do this. I usually cut Liliana against Noble Hierarch decks. It's just like my plan here all the time. So if you're really a 2-drop, 3-drop, you're really a 2-drop. This looks a lot better. It's a lot more streamlined. Liliana is not the best ever. Making you sacrifice a creature when you have Hierarch in your deck doesn't really do that much. So they probably play 4 Druid and 4 Vizier. I think I saw this list on Twitter. Let's see if I can look it up. This hand looks pretty good. Pyroclasm's going to be nice if it resolves. Tarmogoyf's not really what we want. I don't think it's worth getting the Grim Lavamancer into play because, like, we can't use it yet anyway, so let's just play Quagmire. Next turn we can push plus cast Lavamancer. Lightning Greaves. Wow. That's an interesting one. I think we're going to stick with the plan because the Lightning Greaves is only good against sorcery speed removal. So they're going to Lightning Greaves it? I guess I just push that thing. Gets a card into a graveyard for Lavamancer. I think we just say go. I could play Tarmogoyf. Don't think I really need to do that yet. Let's see what they do here. Nothing. Okay. Stomping Ground. I really can't imagine that they have Obstinate Baloth, but maybe. That would be pretty interesting. lose Duskwatch Recruiter. Going to play this Thoughtseize. Find out what's going on here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Post-mortem lunge. Holy mackerel, what in the world? Alright, cord is bad. We have the cut to kill this weird thing, so I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so this is like a combo. This is like a finisher. That's fine. Okay. Duskwatch Recruiter's a little scary, but not that good. Cord is always pretty bad for us. I think we'll take the cord. I don't think they have Dryad Arbor. I'm going to attack before I play the Goyf, just in case. Yeah, so we're pretty safe to play this Tarmogoyf here. So I'm guessing this is Shalai. I guess they could post-mortem lunge something. Yep, okay. So here's Shalai. Converted mana cost X, so it's got to be... That's so weird. Let's see. They have everything but sorceries in their graveyard. So let's play... What if Foothills crack it? I'm gonna go get a black-red, black-green. Yeah, let's do that. No. Cut here. Leaving the sorcery. They've conceded from the game. Okay, well. What a weird deck. It seems pretty resilient, but they didn't really draw any of their combo pieces, and if they did, we would have had them covered anyway. It seems like the kind of deck that's really tough for like post board against Jund. This is the kind of... This isn't necessarily... Not that this list is necessarily worse than like a normal like Abzan counters company kind of thing, but against this matchup, it is definitely a lot worse. Like, you would definitely rather have Kitchen Finks, Eternal Witnesses, stuff like that to play instead of just really balling out for the combo and playing stuff like this. But this is just straight green-white. Interesting. Really interesting deck. Alright, well, we got that one. Let's keep it going. We're back. Round 4. I think we got a mulligan this. It just kind of doesn't do very much. I don't know. Maybe we can keep it. It's pretty scary, though. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. See what happens. Like, the only things that we can draw that are bad for us are 3-drops and red spells. Gonna lead on Thoughtseize. Oh boy. Taking this Goblin Lore, I guess, and just hoping that they never get there. Just gonna assume this is a Flameblade Adept. Yep. Perfect. Taking a lot of damage here. I guess I should Thoughtseize now. Another Adept. This Gurmag is going to be problematic. think I'm just gonna get rid of the Angler right now. Yeah, dude, you get... Gonna get a Stomping Ground. I think it's right to get a Stomping Ground and play this 11. I can't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You get to get your thing. Oh my god, it's annoying. They should have just made that thing say, like, if it's your turn, then you get to... Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. Cycling that is fine for us. Just gonna nuke you. Quagmire, go. I don't have any reason. I guess I could have waited on the Lavamancer activation, but whatever. Not really concerned about it. 2. Okay, so we can get a Blood Crypt and kill both of those, or we can play Huntmaster. It is kind of dangerous to let those things live. And I do want a second red source anyway. So when we cast this Huntmaster, I would have been going to get a Blood Crypt no matter what. So we're going to go get a Blood Crypt. Pay 2 life, yes. And I guess I just do it right now. I don't really have a reason to do it right now or to not. I don't know. I really don't know about how to play this deck, play against this deck. Faithless Looting, doing a bunch of stuff. So now they can play a hollow one. Okay, there's a bolt. And now a hollow one for free? Yep, okay. So now it's our Huntmaster against their hollow one. Also, this is where Hissing Quagmire kind of comes into play. I guess I should have played the Ravine. So I'm guessing they're going to play Looting out of the Graveyard, sure. Yeah, 2 reasons I should have played the Ravine there. One is that I wanted that in play, and the other is that I would have rather had a second green source. Just taking it. 4 Scavenging Ooze. That's why. So let's play that, and let's play this. And I think, well, I guess I don't have to worry about whether or not to attack there because my opponent conceded. Okay. Alright, income. Cut. Nile Spellbomb. And the Baloths. Liliana is quite poor. Maybe Huntmaster, maybe having all of these 4 drops is a little aggressive. Kolaghan's Command is great because it hits artifacts. Let's cut 1 Fatal Push. Bolts can at least team up to kill a Gurmag Angler or something. Fatal Push only kind of doesn't do anything. It's going to be a keep. We got lands and spells. Opponent mulliganed. Burning Inquiry in the other deck. You never know what your hand's going to look like after turn 1. Blood Crypt into Faithless Looting. Sure. Bloodghast, yuck. That's pretty good. So, do we Thoughtseize? I believe so. Gurmag or Faithless Looting? Taking the Gurmag. Bloodghasts are going to be scary, but at least we have this Tarmogoyf to block them with. And we drew a Gurmag. Okay. That's going to be problematic. No, a Tasker, sure. We got to take 2 anyway. If we want a green source here. Sorceries and lands in graveyards at the moment. We're blocking. I mean, I guess it's a pretty free attack since they just get it back, but... And an Adept, sure. So that's their whole hand. Courser's not the worst. Not the worst. And then we can try and follow up with Huntmaster next turn. Alternatively, we can try and get this Raging Ravine into play. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. Because I think I'd rather Fatal Push this turn. On the Adept. This puts us to 4. We untap, we play Huntmaster, we go to 5. Although, actually, it doesn't put us to 4 because the instant plus the creature in the graveyard... Oy. The instant plus the creature in the graveyard makes our Tarmogoyf a 4/5. Well, it's a 4/5 right now anyway because they have their own Fatal Push. So there's another Bloodghast. So it's too bad that we can't do anything to make this a 5/6. That would be ideal. Let's block here. This is bad against Bolt, but it's actually better against Bolt because if we had blocked the Bloodghast and gone to 3 or to 2, then we die to the Bolt. So I don't know if they have a Bolt or not. They have a Bolt. Goblin Lord, the Bolt was pretty much what the Doctor ordered for them that turn. Yeah, it's got to be Huntmaster here. And we have to double block, which is too bad. Otherwise, we're dead. And we're dead anyway. Okay. Where were you? So I think if we get to live a turn and not have to face down that Tassiger that turn, then we were in pretty good shape there. The more I play with it, the more I dislike the Huntmasters. But I also don't love Fatal Push, and I also don't love Duress. It hits their best cards, but doesn't hit everything. Pyroclasm is interesting. I think I'd rather play a Jund Charm than a Pyroclasm, though. 2 damage to each creature, plus encounters on your creature, which is not the worst, actually. And it can get rid of a graveyard, but it's just kind of like not... Nuking a graveyard for 3 mana just isn't quite what's important in this matchup. Especially when you could do it for 1 mana and draw a card, or 2 mana and draw a card. And without the Huntmasters in the deck, the Pyroclasm effect gets a lot better. It would have been really good there when they were attacking us with all this stuff. Not gonna happen for us. Even though we've got a Nile Spell Bomb. I guess so. We've got a Spell Bomb. This isn't really that good. So this will help us draw. I don't think I'm going to 5. Put you on the bottom. This is one of those times where I really hope my opponent has Burning Inquiry. Nope. Okay. That's not good. Sure. Pretty lucky for us that they're not really doing anything right now. Also not the best. Please Burning Inquiry get this into play for us. How good would Liliana of the Veil be for us right here? For our opponent to have for us to put this into play. Nope, nothing going on there. Land untapped for a Bloodghast. Okay. Yeah. We definitely knew this was a possibility, but it is also was on 6 cards and we had our Spell Bomb. They're really kind of not doing anything over there. If we get off this Jund Charm, then we might be in good shape. Don't think this was ever going to be happening for us. Bolt upstairs. I could have Spellbombed there. I guess it was right too. So now we have to face this Angler. Now we're dead. Yeah. I mean, the way that we would have won this game is we draw Swamp here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Draw a Swamp there, draw, or a Black Leaf Cliffs, whatever, draw Black Swords, terminate something. Next turn, Jund Charm away everything else. After we draw another land, and then exile their graveyard. And then maybe start to gain some kind of advantage with Courser and Baloth, and we have a terminate back for the Angler. Wasn't really going to happen for us that time. Alright. 1 round to go. Let's see if we can cash this thing. Round 5. We are on the play. Gotta like that. Gonna play first. Hand looks great. Alright. Thought sees you. Oh boy. Baloth, Scape Shift, Summoner's Pact, Lightning Bolt. Well, I can't take the Baloth. So even though that would be the best card to get out of their hand, that's not happening. I don't think I want to take the Summoner's Pact either. I think that the best way that we win is we race them. It's gonna be really hard to do with like no creatures, a couple of dead cards in our hand. But they have a long ways to go before they get up to 7 mana or even 6 mana. So I don't think taking either of the Summoner's Pacts is really helpful. And the Bolt answers our Hunmaster, so we're going to take the Bolt. Okay, there's their first land that they needed. There's a dead draw for us. Not gonna lie, those were two exceedingly good draws. Well, I mean a land and a ramp spell, but it's what they wanted for sure. Let's go get a Stomping Ground. Ugh, getting punished. Punished for playing that fetch land there. This is kind of why I don't like having this many enters the battlefield untapped, or any of these things. Summoner's Pact, so is this what? Another Tri-Builder? Another Tri-Builder, wow. Sure. Okay. This was a turn we were going to play a Hunmaster, but we can't, so let's play a Courser. And gain life. Summoner's Pact for Tri-Builder is extremely aggressive. Especially because I'm going to Inquisition them and take this Summoner's Pact. Well, I guess they can kind of sort of play around it. But it eats up their whole next turn. So they have a Titan anyway. Land kills us. But instead, they're going to play a Titan next turn, I believe. I would imagine. So then we can double bolt it, and then Thoughtseize the Scapeshift. If they don't draw a land here. It actually has to be a land, too. Okay. So let's see what they do with all these triggers, because we're going to double bolt this guy. So it would have actually had to be a land. Ramp spell plus Scapeshift would not have done it for them. Going after the Courser? They are. Okay. Bolt you, bolt you. So hopefully they don't have 2 scape shifts. That's the worst case scenario. Just a bolt. Okay. Well, the bolt beats the Huntmaster pretty good here. They're just not casting that Baloth. Wow. That's interesting. Well, I'm going to play Bitter Blossom then. Really not a lot of sense in playing this Huntmaster and having it just get bolted. Sure. Okay. So now we get hit for 6 every turn. And now another mountain kills us. We are going to play this Huntmaster though, so... So that's going to redirect the bolt away from our face. Let's play the Vern Catacombs. Let's play a Huntmaster. This way, now we have a fetch land plus a push, which is, of course, pretty good. Ooh, the bolt plus another land is still going to kill us, though, because of this Bitter Blossom. So that, yeah. Okay. The Bitter Blossom, casting the Bitter Blossom made a lot more sense before they had the second Valakut. Sounds good. Magic Online is bugged. Cool. Alright. Let's play Blightning. Yep. Duress. Yep. And Murderous Cut. We can cut Fatal Push. Doesn't really do anything at all. And Dreadbore is okay. Kills a Titan. Bitter Blossom's really like our worst card, though. This is the matchup where we get punished for having Damping Sphere in the deck instead of something else like something better. This is a great hand, though. Escape Shift, Prismatic Omen, Relic of Progenitus. Can we take the Relic and still win? However, our Tarmogoyf, we have 3-4. I don't think we can realistically beat Escape Shift. There's really almost... There's like a pretty good reason to take each of these cards. Except the Titan. I don't think it's worth taking the Titan. Search for Tomorrow would make our Liliana a lot better, but we don't know that we're going to have Black Source on turn 3. Relic is actually kind of answerable by the Kolaghan's command. I think I might just take the Search for Tomorrow. Because it's their only source of mana acceleration. The Relic sucks for us, but a Kolaghan's command will really help. And I am still just going to play the Tarmogoyf. Could have played Scavenging Ooze instead. Don't think it's worth it, though. Yep. Mountain. Oh, because they're going to play the Cinder Glade next turn anyway. We had a very good hand here if we could have gotten a 3-mana spell on turn 3 here, but I think we're going to lose because we didn't draw land. Kind of like last round. I guess we're in trouble here. Like, this thing is going to kill our Tarmogoyf. I guess I just bolt it. That sucks, but whatever. We're honestly not in the worst shape right now. If we draw a black source next turn, I think we'll be okay. They have Prismatic Omen, which is like sometimes really good against us, and other times it's just like a card that doesn't do anything, so it's basically a dead card. Summoner's Pact. For Baloth? For Tri-Builder. Okay. I keep making that play, and I find it really bizarre. And there's Prismatic Omen. Okay. Well, things could have been better here. 5 mana. They kill us with Escape Shift. Because of Prismatic Omen now. Or a Titan. Let's attack. The thing is that they have to pay for their pack next turn. So this was the turn to start making them discard cards with Lily and Kolaghan's command. But it didn't happen. The thing here is that if I try and eat the Tri-Builder to get in more damage, then they just take it away with the Relic. So it doesn't really do us any good doing that, so I'm going to play a Tarmogoyf. So, yeah, they at least have to pay for Pact. Okay. They didn't play a land. Well, it's been fun, Magic Online. This was a real good time. I think maybe we're not dead to a Titan here. Not exactly. Okay. So that now we're dead to a escape shift. Yeah, we're dead to escape shift though. Sure. I guess I was supposed to use this duress beforehand. Nope. Worked out better for us this way. They have a Summoner's Pact, 2 Primeval Titans, an Escape Shift that kills us next turn. Did they... They must have... They drew the Wooded Foothills. So Escape Shift kills us. Wooded Foothill... the Wooded Foothills will kill us anyway. They're going to Titan for 2 Valakuts. So at least make them play it out, I guess. But they're going to Titan, fetch up 2 Valakuts. And then those Valakuts, because of the Omen, are going to deal us 6 each. And we'll go to we'll go to 3, and then they'll play the Wooded Foothills, and that'll kill us. Like I said, Prismatic Omen is like kind of a dead draw here, but it doesn't do anything unless you are also going off and you have Valakuts and stuff. So, all right, well, to be honest, I was pretty happy with how this league went as far as a 2 and 3 league goes. Yeah, I think we were actually in very, very good shape in this match, in this game, if we were able to hit a 3rd land. And I'm pretty happy with that keep. Against the Hollow One deck, that wasn't great, but again, a lot of things had to go wrong for us. I feel like both games 2 and 3 we were pretty favored from just, well, maybe not 3, but game 2 was looking pretty good for us. Had to have a lot of things go wrong in game 3 also. And against that Jeskai control deck, I think we need work in the control matchup. I think this list, as it is constructed right now, does not have control, Jeskai control on its radar, and we should probably address that. I should probably address that. So going into the SCG regionals next weekend, I think those are the things I need to figure out. Is just how to construct the deck in a way. I mean, maybe Dreadbores back in instead of Terminates. Those probably would have been a lot better, of course, against Teferi. Because Teferi is definitely how you lose. Something, I don't know, something to do, something that's a little different. Maybe Grim Flayer back in the deck instead of Scavenging Ooze. Maybe if Hollow One is less on the radar and Jeskai control is more more important to get to fight against, then Grim Flayer is going to be better. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at some things, but I really like where it's at. Like something like this matchup, not really that bad. We had all the tools that we needed to win, pretty much. Especially after game 2, so I think I'm pretty happy with how the list is. Going to change some things here and there, and Courser was pretty good. I think Courser. We didn't hit any of the matchups where Courser is better than Tracker, and I still think it was totally reasonable. So, yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. If you like this content, go ahead and hit the hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel there, and I'll keep churning out these videos. Catch you later.